As always, you can support Night Attack on Patreon, patreon.com/Night Attack. Or hey, if you're in the market for a PC, go to doghousesystems.com/v/rogue. Use promo code ROGUE, ROGUE, at checkout, and you'll get a free SSD. Hey, let's start the show!
Yeah! Live from the newly minted Diamond Club Studios, deep in the heart of the 7-acre should. I could say that. Located smack dab on Austin city limits. Hello, beautiful people. From deep in the heart of Texas, this is Brian Brushwood live. Joined as always by my BFF and No AK, who just barely made it back from the NH. It's the PX3 Nightmare Extreme. I'm out of letters. Just JRY. How you doing, man?
I'm just back from the Granite State, and I'm hard as a rock to this Night Attack.
You have had a hell of an adventure. How many shows do you think you appeared on? How many interviews did you do? Walk us through the last 36 to 75 hours.
All right. So left on Saturday. Well, came back from Iowa on Tuesday. And then out back on Saturday for New Hampshire. Got up to New Hampshire. Immediately went to a Joe Biden rally. Here's a fun fact. If you want to feel acclimated and normal, don't go to the slow motion peyote performance art that is a Joe Biden rally.
So how does everybody who isn't Joe Biden sound? Because I can picture, and listen to Joe Biden, but I would love to know.
It's not the same. But I don't want to be that guy who's like, dude, if you only listen to the Fish albums, then you really just don't understand what it's like live. The Biden situation live is totally different. Like, he just sounds like somebody who's confused about how to use the phone when you hear him like on video. But when you're there live, you just sink into the fact that no one's leaving. They're just listening to him go for like an hour. And man, does this guy, because like all I've been doing is watching other politicians. And when you watch other politicians, things become clear. Opening point, funny joke, secondary point, the tertiary point, big wrap up, and then they're out. Not so with Biden. Biden rolls out, just starts talking about whatever the hell he wants to talk about. In this rally that I was at, he obliquely begins talking about the Violence Against Women Act, which he was a part of. And presumably, he is doing that because he is trying to distance himself from the insurgent Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who is taking a lot of the moderate voters. But instead of really spending time on any of that, why he's doing it, he just goes into a solid 30 minutes of graphically describing modern and historical context that women have been beat.
Physically beat, not defeated, but beaten.
No, beaten. Times that he's met women who have been beaten, and they confessed how much they got beat up. Just describing women getting beaten. Like there was one where he's like, yeah, you come here and the dinner's not ready and a guy slams your head against the wall. What are we going to do with that? Real verbatim quote that comes out of his mouth. Then goes
What are we going to do with that? Like
what are we going to do?
The implication is that he's taking the bold stance that maybe that should be against the law. Is that where he's headed?
And he is, because he prefaced it with like, I signed, I signed, dadgummit, I signed the Violence Against Women Act. But then he goes on this whole thing about the rule of thumb.
Oh, and what it means, like the size of the stick that you could use to beat your wife.
Yes, but he's like, it's about like the 1730s or whatever. He's just going. He's like, what the rule of thumb means, and you can hear on my recording. I'm like, oh no, he's not. And indeed, he does.
That's not you. That's somebody else there.
No, that's me. Oh. That's me. I'm providing my own commentary on the speech. But that's not even the thing that got famous. There was a thing that went viral from the rally that I was at.
Yeah. Shoot. I think I heard about this, but I don't recall it.
Bryce might be able to find it. He then has a Q&A. Huge mistake. I don't know any. I mean, like other people do Q&As and stuff like that, but
I mean, look, as we just learned from the previous hour and a half, AI bots run better when you feed it a little something to work on as a seed for its algorithm. So it would make sense. Like, go ahead. What do you got? Give me the beginning to the telltale heart. I'll just finish the story for you.
I mean, like, here, Bryce, literally,
I got
you need to go to talktotransformer.com and just put in, have you heard, or have you ever heard the phrase rule of thumb?
We'll get the AI bot version of Joe Biden.
I guarantee you it will be more coherent than what I heard. But anyway, all right, here we go.
Have you ever, Justin, can you give us this actual recording that you have of definitely Joe Biden live on stage?
Click.
This refers to the idea that in any given situation, one should estimate in approximate terms what one would need to do to achieve a desired outcome. For instance, if I ask you for permission, can you help me get a cup of coffee? Even though I don't expect you to have the exact tools I need, as long as you help me out in my time of need, then help me again in a few hours, that would be wonderful. If you think that this is just a rule of thumb, I got a little more to say about it. But first, I want to make a suggestion. I would like to suggest a rule of thumb that you could use in a variety of situations. You may use it when.
Oh God! I don't believe.
So for those of you who don't know, that's an AI. That literally is talktotransformer.com. We put in the first word of a sentence that Biden literally said. And that was more coherent than what came out of his mouth. So here's the thing that went viral.
Okay.
And Bryce, what you need to look up.
Oh, I believe I got it.
Then here. Yeah, just play the fucking clip.
Oh, looks like we got audio.
Here we go.
There you go.
There we go. I got
The
it.
candidate with the so you're
Hold on, wait. Pause
arguably
it.
the
Pause it.
candidate
Because there's context here. So he goes on this whole thing about beating women and how women get beat, right? And so that girl gets the mic, and he's like, she says before she starts talking, I'm going to have kind of a mean question for you. And Joe Biden, who up to this point is wearing a jacket, takes off his jacket theatrically as if the joke being, oh, you're going to say something mean. Well, then I'm going to beat you up, so I need to take off my jacket.
Well,
like,
now here's the question.
Let me get a piece of chain and a rusty song.
At what point into theatrically taking off his jacket does he remember what he's been saying for the last 15 minutes?
presumably 30 minutes afterwards, right? Like there's... So that's he's taken off his jacket, but he got a laugh in the room because he's like, "Oh, you, all right," like forgetting that he's just spent this entire time talking about beating women. So this is what happens afterward.
So you're arguably the candidate with the greatest advantage in this race. You've been the vice president. You weren't burdened down by the impeachment trials.
Pause it real quick. It's really interesting. After doing the jacket thing, he started to put, you know how when you want to appear just a little bit bigger, a little bit more invulnerable, you put your hands on your hips to look a little bit bigger. He full on starts to do that and then like realizes he does. It's almost the equivalent of when you reach your hand out to shake a hand and you realize that they don't see it, and so you make it look like you're scooping the side of your head.
I'm just gonna smooth out my hairline here.
That's what he does. He gets all the way up to pufferfish and then like, oh, I just needed to adjust that, and now let me figure out an excuse to drop this other hand and adopt a small diminutive position.
So, in the participation. So how do you explain the performance in Iowa, and why should the voters believe that you can win the national election?
It's a good question. Number one, Iowa's a Democratic caucus. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony.
Wait. No. Don't.
All right.
No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you.
A lying dog-faced
confusing.
pony soldier.
Number one.
That's a thing to say to the people at your rally.
Here's the funniest thing. So from my vantage point, I'm back with all the press, right? And so I'm like, what is happening? Like, this whole thing is so weird. It's so like, it's one of those things where you ever been in situations where it's so boring, it's kind of interesting. Like you just start like focusing on little details of it.
It's a bit like a headspace meditation, and Andy is talking to you, and you're like, he's just gonna keep on going, isn't he? Holy cow! How long can he do this?
So I look over when he says lying dog-faced pony soldier, and I look at the rest of the press because there's a certain cadence and rhythm to, like, if somebody says something, then like the clack, 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 clack just goes a little faster or whatever. Nothing. Nobody in the room at all is in any way like reactive to it, but it wound up going viral. Somebody posted it because it was just weird, and then it wound up going viral, and everybody had video of it because we're set up there to record everything.
Sure.
But apparently, I didn't actually even read what the official spokesperson thing is. What was it, Bryce?
So he apparently also used the phrase in 2018 about another
It's a go-to.
another candidate that he was endorsing's opponent. As my brother who loves to use lines from movies, from John Wayne movies, there's a line in a movie, a John Wayne movie, where an Indian chief turns to John Wayne and says, this is a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
That seems like the kind of thing, like, you think once that's a funny phrase, and you tuck it away and you use it here and again, and then one day you've been talking about beating women for 30 minutes and somebody asks a question you don't like, and you just say the first thing that pops out of your mouth.
So that's the weirdest thing. The weirdest thing is like that goes viral, and I'm like, that's not even the top 3 weirdest thing that happened during that thing. It was just short enough to go viral. All right, I have one more story for you from New Hampshire, somebody that I know you're familiar with.
Oh, Brian. Is this an Andrew Heaton joint?
No.
What?
No. I ran into on the street.
I swear to God, if it's John Stossel.
It's not John Stossel.
Okay.
Vermin Supreme.
Oh, the dude that wears the boot on his head. The
dude that wears the boot on his head. Yes, indeed. The perpetual New Hampshire presidential candidate that is running on Free Ponies for All. So here we go. This was the moment. And Brian, I know you will appreciate this. Vermin Supreme, just heads up, is seriously running for the Libertarian Party nomination this year.
So previously it's always been sort of performance art, but this time he feels like, well, Justin Amash ain't said nothing yet, so here I go.
So basically, he is running as like, look, I'm a political satirist. I've been in this game for a while. I was talked to by an actual Libertarian Party operative. And so I am like, any conversation that anyone's had with me or interview has been longer than 1 minute and 30 seconds. Like, they know that I'm a smart guy on the issues. So he's going to run like that.
So this is like, after 20 years of Borat, you get Sacha Baron Cohen saying like, no, come on guys. Like, you know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Let me run.
It's like, I couldn't do this if I didn't know the real issues, right? Because I'm making fun of them, which is harder often than talking about them seriously. So I had to put on my journalist hat, which I guess is the hat that I'm wearing right now. And
not a shoe.
Not a shoe. And I had to ask him a very, very serious question that specifically if he's running for the Libertarian Party nomination, he's going to have to answer.
The fuck out of it. Well, Vermin, I have one more question to ask you, and this is very important, a serious one. If you're running for the Libertarian Party ticket,
I am.
How would you handle Aleppo?
Aleppos are my favorite type of ponies.
Oh, there we go.
We would ride our zombie-powered Aleppo ponies all the way into the future.
There we go.
And so, there will...
That's a presidential candidate that knows how to just roll with it. He didn't make that deadly mistake of asking what the hell you're talking about.
much better than Gary Johnson, who just kind of stared obliquely into the void and asked, "What is Aleppo?" There we go, Vermin Supreme. By the way, his legal name, it's on all of his IDs and on his passport, Vermin Supreme. So he'll be running as Vermin Supreme.
Do you think in that moment, Gary Johnson was afraid that somebody was pulling basically like, oh, I get this one. Yeah, what's a dick for? And then sent to tee them up to say to be with or something. Like, all right, I'll bite. What's Aleppo?
Yeah. Exactly. Next thing you know, you're going to want to know if I'm going to dispatch the military to Updog. Fine.
Hey, man, we got a special guest coming up in just a moment, but now's a good time for us to remind you guys that you can support the show by heading on over to, what was that website again, Justin? I always forget.
Well, that would be patreon.com/Night Attack, Brian. Patreon.com/Night Attack is where you can shout out, or sorry, you can give us money. You can give us money on Night Attack. Patreon.com/Night Attack. You get a shout out at the end of this little segment. But if you are on the team, then what you get is a special RSS feed. You get the show before anybody else gets it. So go ahead on over there right now. Patreon.com/Night Attack.
Hells to the yeah. And of course, we like to support you guys by picking one of you guys at random who's a new pledger or somebody who ups their pledge with a little thing that we like to call.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Night Attack new Patreon name chant corner hour. It's an hour of it.
Man, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're up to. I don't know if you're running for president on the Libertarian ticket, the Green ticket, or on the Night Attack ticket. But whoever you are, I just want to say, hells yeah, thank you so much. Melancholy. You're a delicious fruit.
You're the infinite sadness.
That too. Thank you very much, Melancholy. And of course, because we're live on Twitch, we take a brief 1 minute to do the Twitch thing where we shout out everybody who supports the show with the bits and the subscriptions and all that. And do we have a current leaderboard on who is our bit boss?
Bit boss is Sean L with 1 bit. Thank you, Sean.
Oh, hells yeah, we got 1 bit. That's how I was telling Theater Monkey just the other day that I hope we get 1 bit someday.
Well, I don't want to be an Eli expert about it, but in my particular expertise, these things take at least a Dan 33.
Doggone right. Is that a metric unit of time? Because, I mean, I'm not much in the cranium, boy, but who boy? Do I wonder what that unit of time is as I fill time for the next name?
Well, Captain Jack 913 will get you high again, and 913 is the level to which he'll get you high.
I wonder. I made a list of things, and DSA number 89 was the question was how long until we just say the same bits about the same people who subscribe every single time.
Well, that's some sooth, and by that I mean the truth. I'm not gonna buck you around here, buddy. This is what we're talking about.
All right, but the important thing is, when will BioCow explain to me what the rule of thumb is? Thank you very much, gang.
Not a joke, friends. Not a joke. Not a joke. Businessism.
Yeah, dude. Hey, man. Who do we got joining us today?
Ladies and gentlemen, joining the show once again, one of our oldest friends and a great human. He is writer, raconteur, great human being. C. Robert Cargill. How you doing, buddy?
Hi. How's everybody out there tonight?
Oh, hells yeah. It's so good to hear your voice again, man. It has been way too long. How have you been, man? And what awesome things are happening in your life?
What was that?
How have you been and what awesome things are happening in your life right now that you are allowed to talk about?
Nothing is happening in my life right now, according to those stipulations. Things are really, really good. I'm really, really busy at the moment. It's been pure chaos. As some of you have noted, or may have noticed, I've popped up in the news a couple times recently, and my writing partner's popped up in the news a couple of times. And so as a result, we've been super inundated with stuff. So it's been one of those things where at the beginning of January, I was like, I've got a couple months to get some stuff together. I got to finish this novel, but it's going to be kind of quiet. And then it all of a sudden wasn't. And I have been incredibly busy ever since.
Yeah, we're going to show you what good friends we are by moving right into a wacky game rather than putting you on the spot. Oh, hey, by the way, you're still doing Junk Food Cinema, right? When can I be back on?
Whenever. We would love to have you back. We would love to have you both back at some point. Yeah. We just got to put you in touch with Salisbury and figure out when to do a thing. We're currently clearing out the last few of our patron requests. We had this situation where we had a tier on our Patreon where if you put in $25 an episode for 4 episodes, you get to request a movie. And we thought it'd be a really good way to clear out a bunch of the stuff we've always wanted to do but always forget about.
But instead, everybody just came out of left field.
Yeah, they're like, V.I. Warshawski and Follow That Bird.
Oh, my God. Yes.
And so I told Brian, I'm like, hey, dude, look, we're going to have to call it quits on this. Like, I thought we were going to get, more quality stuff. And instead, people just want us to defend really bad movies that they like. And that isn't... I do this for fun. I don't make any money off this.
You're not the movie lawyer where you defend movies for like a merc.
Yeah. So I expected him to go and then kill the tier. Instead, what he did was go, hey, everybody, Cargill's saying we might have to pull the plug on this. So if you wanted to go ahead and get a request in.
No! That is a true friend and partner in crime, dude. That is the way to do it. I just realized that, Justin, we had talked about making a bit of a speculative announcement, and maybe we can double down on that by saying we had talked about, we always do a South by Southwest event, and we had talked about decoupling it from South by Southwest because originally we did it then because everybody was in town, but then we found out that everybody was flying in to see us and that it was really stupidly expensive and inconvenient because that's when everybody else in the whole world was coming to South by Southwest. And on top of that, we were having to compete for the attention of the likes of you and a billion other Hollywood types. But we speculatively, just trying it on for size, we're talking about doing our big event a couple of weeks later, maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, just before April 8th. So it would be maybe the weekend of April 4th and 5th. And we were talking, if we can get our act together, about doing it here at the 7 Acre Schwood, having a full day picnic, making it a big VIP thing, and having some of our podcast friends join us. And I hope I'm not talking out of school, Justin. I'm going to assume that much like we're guests over at Scoop Fest, we would love Junk Food Cinema if they're available to come join us.
I would. Thank you for the invitation. I would love to. I would love to do that. I will say in context of what we were just talking about, I might be shooting a movie.
It's busy.
I'm not kidding.
Typical Hollywood answer. Old Hollywood Cargill.
Well, all right. How about this? If you are interested,
if I'm
in an
available,
event,
I'm coming.
No, not you, Cargill. We know that you're going to be there if you're in town. If folks listening are interested, then mail@nightattack.tv is where you're going to send your emails. And we just want to get a gauge of what the head count would be, whether or not that would be something you'd be interested in. So again, this would be the weekend of April 4th and 5th. And we're just putting it out there because again, South by Southwest thing, I feel like we did it as soon as, we four-walled our own venue in the middle of South by Southwest and sold, hundreds of tickets. I feel like that was pretty much the top of what we were going to be able to do there. So now we're going to do it even bigger on Brian's property a few weeks later. If you're interested, mail@nightattack.tv.
Yeah, Austin Night Attack Live, #ANAL 2020. Boom. Whoops.
Yes.
Hey, do we have a game?
Hi, everybody. Welcome back, Cargill. We have got a classic game. I wonder if we've played this with Cargill or not before. It's a classic game called Apologizes For.
And before you jump in, Cargill, no, the answer isn't a studio apologizes for the performance of Green Lantern. Hashtag never forget.
So if folks listening have never seen an episode where we play Apologizes For, this is where we go and take news headlines and remove some of the words from the headlines, and everyone has to guess what the word, the blanks are in the headline, and whoever is closest, as determined by science, gets a point. Cargill, you familiar with the game?
I am not.
No. Okay.
Yeah, this
it's an easy one.
Yeah,
this one will make
basically,
make sense.
you can play. The home game includes setting up a Google News alert for the phrase "apologizes for," and then it just drinking in the delicious Schadenfreude. It shows up in your inbox every morning.
Yeah, and I think we'll actually have the poll stuff going tonight. So if the chat room correctly guesses who's going to get it right, they will also get a point. So you're kind of playing against each other and the chat. So it's a little bit of that too. We got a first one here. This one is, I think, probably one of the easiest ones of the night, but it'll kind of serve as a good example. Brian, we'll start with you.
Ready.
Everybody's going to give a guess in the headline. The headline is, Deli Ali apologizes for blank video. Deli Ali apologizes for blank video.
Racist?
We've got a little more info here.
Oh, okay.
So we do provide a little bit of it.
Okay, good.
The Tottenham Hotspur midfielder deleted the video he posted on Saturday in which he filmed himself wearing a face mask and appearing to mock an Asian man, according to PA Media.
Racist!
Racist. Justin, Deli Ali apologizes for blank video.
What is that voice, Brian? It's like the
I was. Well, one was I have no idea who that person is, and I know the safest. It's like bunting, you know. I'm at the plate, and it turns out that instead I swung for the fences, and so I'm like racist.
Man,
Yeah, it's sounded a little worse than you think it does.
Oh, does it?
Racist! Woo! Yeah. A little bit. Justin, Deli Ali apologizes for blank video.
Ooh. I mean, I guess if I don't want to go racist. I don't want to go racist. Pornographic?
Pornographic. Okay, not outside of the realm that this game has gone before. All right, Deli Ali apologizes.
Yeah, no. We're definitely playing the hits here.
Cargill, Deli Ali apologizes for blank video. What do you think?
So do I have to choose something different from them, or
yeah, you should pick your own guess.
All right, then I will go with sexist.
Sexist. All right, there we go.
It's wearing a mask, mocking an Asian man, saying women are inferior to men.
Oh, goodness. What is that voice now?
That's me halfway through speaking those words, remembering that we're live on the internet.
That's right. That's right. All right. So we've got your answers. Brian said racist. Justin said pornographic. And Cargill said sexist. The headline reads, Deli Ali apologizes for coronavirus video.
Oh, my God.
Coronavirus.
So here's the question. Now it's to you, Bryce.
Well,
is coronavirus racist, pornographic, or sexist?
well, it's not up to me. It's up to science.
Sorry, science. What does science
I do have
say?
a chart here, and I do think mocking an Asian man in a video for a disease or a virus that has spread from Wuhan, China. I think that one's going to be racist. And
All right. So according to science, definitely not Bryce Castillo, coronavirus is racist.
That's right. And Chat Realm is going to get the point on that. They said 85% that Brian would get it. So good point for Chat Realm. There we go. That's the game, everybody. That's the game. It's
Ready. I'm in. I'm all in.
All right, Justin, we're going to start with you on this one.
Cool.
And I believe this one was sent in by Skloong last time we played Apologize For. So thank you, Skloong. Headline. ASICS apologizes for blank playing for hours above Auckland store. ASICS apologizes for blank playing for hours above Auckland store.
Okay. Do we get a little snippet?
We do.
Okay.
We would like to apologize to anyone who may have seen this, the firm said. ASICS apologizes.
Man, I got this. I got this on lockdown.
Blank playing for hours above Auckland store. Justin, we're starting with you.
I would say I'm going to go back to pornography. I'm going to say pornography. Hours of pornography.
All right. As if any pornographic video goes for hours, but that's fine.
Cargill, what do you think?
Well, no, I mean, no, I assume
Like-
loop, right? Like, I'm not
I-
saying that.
I mean, look,
they're playing the fucking dances with wolves of pornography,
Yeah,
right?
This
It's
is
not-
where it breaks down, right? Let's say even if it has autoplay on the next video, we all know within 30 minutes you're on an Alex Jones video. So it doesn't matter what the seed is. It all leads to that,
The seed.
so to speak.
Okay.
Exactly.
Cargill, what do you think? A6 apologizes for blank playing for hours above Auckland store.
I'm gonna say Old Town Road.
Ooh, that's good.
Oh, Lil Nas X's Old Town Road.
I was actually gonna say that it was initially the headline initially made me think it was a music thing, and so I was gonna go with Smash Mouth, but then the snippet said no one should have to see it. Although maybe they could be playing the video and people are just very upset with the visage of Billy Ray Cyrus.
I'm gonna stick to
We
my.
all are.
I'm gonna stick to my gut because the moment I heard it, I knew it was the Harlem Shake.
Oh, do the Harlem Shake.
Yeah, sure. They went super retro and left it on a loop.
All right, there we go. We're going to start the poll here for the chat also. All right, the answer that we were looking for this from BBC.com. A6 apologizes for porn playing for hours above Auckland store.
For hours.
Hours and hours.
Yeah, no, I figured that's what it was, and there was nothing to go but the funny answer.
I guess. I mean, who wants to be the one to call them and tell them to stop? like, even if it's not your thing, you're like, it's sort of like Justin was describing the Biden rally. like this is really happening.
Apparently, an unknown person, quote, an unknown person gained access to the screens above our central Auckland store and some objectionable content.
Do you know what the rule of thumb is? It's where I shove my thumb right here and I rule.
Yeah, because I rule.
All right.
I mean, this is starting to become a problem. See, the issue with a lot of these places is they use the base settings for televisions and things like that when they set it up. And then people connect with their Bluetooth devices, and when they can get into something, they're like, "Oh, hey, I know what to show." Pornhub.
Dude,
Yeah.
that'd be like, man, remember the old days when they would have like live hashtags that would be displayed on giant displays that anybody could hijack by using hashtags?
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Good times.
and you have a budding friendship with Veronica Belmont, and then all of a sudden a bunch of 8 equals D's on there, and you're horrified. And yeah.
Good times.
9-year-old reference at this point. Look at that.
Wow, is it? Old. We're old.
Getting up there.
All right. We're going to start round 3 of Apologizes for. And Cargill, we're going to give you the first guess on this one. The headline is Professor apologizes for blank filled survey. Professor apologizes for blank filled survey.
I'm going to say obscenity.
Obscenity.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
word that popped into my mind was expletive. I'm going to go for the finesse move and say that it's the same idea, but I'm going to guess that the
You're going to try to get
word,
more
I'm
specific.
going to try to win on a technicality. I'm going to
Okay.
try to win on being more close to exactly what it says.
And that's how science works.
Yes.
What was your guess?
Oh, expletive.
Expletive.
Yeah.
Okay. Expletive juice.
I'm gonna ask for the little tidbit that
sure.
nobody else asked for.
Heron. Herring? Hairline?
The survey randomly selected 30 of those participants to evaluate, so there is no way for us to tell which participant got what or what level of intensity, Al-Habash said.
Oh.
You're going to say porn again, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
I mean, so far
Although
it's
that
worked
would
out
be a
pretty
good
well.
one. Yeah. Somebody got the really intense version of the rule of thumb.
A professor apologizes for blank filled survey.
Oh.
You got this. You got this.
Because I want to go racist again. I want it. I think it's going to be like, something that would be benign, except for the fact that for whatever reason, all of one race got one question or
Oh,
one
that's
element of
interesting.
trial. So I'm going to go racist. Racism-filled survey.
What would that look or sound like, Justin? Like, what is a racism-filled survey?
I'm gonna beg off that one. There's no way. At the end of the day, Brian. What is our one thing? It doesn't matter how funny the joke is if you're the one who says the magic word.
No, but I can understand. Like, question number 7 is like, so seriously, which is the best race? Like, question 8 is like, no, come on, you can tell me, bro.
Bro.
Rank. It's just, go.
All right. Well, so are you going to stick with racist?
I am.
We're going to stick with racist. All right. This is from InsideHigherEd.com. The headline: Professor apologizes for slur-filled survey.
Ooh.
Slur-filled survey. That's racism,
Yeah,
folks.
that's racist.
That's racism, folks.
Baby!
So Justin's going to get the point, as well as the chat room. They said 53.8% would be Justin, and they got it right.
Ooh, I could sniff out that shame, friends. I can smell it from all the way over here. Michigan State University with their slur-ass survey.
Apparently, the survey included questions like, if immigration had its way, I'd be speaking Spanish and living in the inner city selling drugs. Is that not at all funny to extremely funny, not at all negative to extremely negative? Some other ones. The main reason Caucasians have the best looking face is their comparatively small noses. Nothing makes a decent face look ugly. Like, these are the ones that the TV put in. They did not even put the ones that definitely were slur words onto the news.
So wait, they were just saying racist or close to racist things, and then they were just having people judge how racist or funny they were. I guess because that's the weird. The weird part is that the poll. The North Pole to South Pole was like the most racist thing I've ever heard and the most hilarious thing I've ever heard. Like, that is a bizarre academic study.
I don't think this was an actual study. I think he was testing out material.
Well, I mean, that's certainly the way everybody, if they're apologizing for it, they're acting as though that's the case. But it's like, I don't know. It seems like it's a survey about racist thoughts and beliefs. I don't think they were claiming to believe it. Well, I guess they were asking. If anything, it would be the takers of the survey that would either be racist or not racist. And the only way you would find out is by administering a motherfucking survey. And you would have to ask these things to find out whether or not they're racist.
The professor said the survey was an experiment, but that's not good enough for many of the students who were surprised to find it in their email. Quote, there was no way, shape, or form in no way, shape, or form the intent. The intent was to uncover these messages and shed the light that these messages do unfortunately exist in the real world. An associate professor of the Department of Advertising and Public Relations.
By the way, a big shout out to Bad Weave in the chat who says, Professor apologizes for working on his tight 5.
Question 18. Are you wheezing the juice, buddy?
The dean calls him in. He's like, listen, Gary, we told you this is not a focus group. You have to do science here. Come on.
All right, we got a few more here of apologizes for. Oh, this is good.
Damn it, Fern.
Damn it, Fern. Don't you do that, Fern. All right. We got a headline here. This is from yahoo.com. Taco Bell apologizes for controversial blank blank. Quote, this should not have happened. Taco Bell apologizes for controversial blank blank. This should not have happened. Brian, we're back to you.
Order mix-up.
Order mix-up. What was the wrong order?
Somebody ordered the Doritos Locos nacho cheese flavor. Mm-hmm. Instead, they got a bucket of semen, and boy, was that a mix-up. That should not have happened. And you better believe,
had it on hand.
Yeah, they apologized.
Okay, that's worthy of apologizing for, I think.
Mostly because the bucket was a January promo, and they're only doing cups now.
They didn't put it in a box.
This coupon had expired like 5 days ago. They really shouldn't have. Oof.
All right, Justin, we're going next to you. A little more info here, though, if you'd like. Quote, we can confirm that the dining room reopened within an hour, and we apologize to our customers for any inconvenience. Taco Bell apologizes for controversial blank blank.
For the record, nothing about this new information necessarily invalidates my theory. It just happened live right there.
Something tells me that it is toilet related. I've got a vibe that this is toilet related. So I'm going to go open bathroom mix up.
Open bathroom mix-up. All right. I don't want to know what a bathroom mix-up might be, but I'll just let the listeners' imagination.
You thought you were going to order your chalupa. Next thing you know, you're in the bathroom and somebody's ripping it.
You know what it was is, and I actually know this because I remember reading the headline. The actual apology was apologizes for labeling the restroom a confessional. They shouldn't have done that. They feel really bad about it. They closed down the place for a bit.
All right, Cargill, bring us home. Taco Bell apologizes for controversial blank blank. They should not have happened.
I'm gonna say music playing.
Oh, for music playing.
So bad that they. All right, what music do you think they were playing that was so bad that they had to shut down the place for an hour?
You'd be surprised. I mean, I would go. I would think someone's saying "Boy George." No, not Boy George. I'm literally talking about you're sitting. You know, some Karen is sitting there with her kids eating tacos, and someone has switched the station to
something explicit, like explicit rap or something.
Explicit. Yes, for controversial explicit music.
I see music playing, and then they still shut down the dining room for up to an hour. But
fuck it.
I'm apparently wrong because I have to explain the concept to you, so it's clear that I did not get this right.
Yeah. They're like, look, we got to open the doors to let all this little Uzi vert out, before we can let customers back in.
I heard you. Bathroom mix up. Gosh.
The manager just screams, "Is that chubby checker I hear? Shut the doors. Get them out. Let's get to the bottom of this." Well, I never. The twist indeed.
We will never allow them to twist again, like we did last summer.
All right.
As he retires to his fainting couch.
All right, we have a headline here from Yahoo.com. Taco Bell apologizes for controversial storefront sign. This should not have happened. Storefront sign.
I almost don't want to know what it says with the sign.
Posted by Paula Duhan. Posted by Paula Duhan Boss on Facebook on Sunday. The sign reads, "Dining room is closed until store's workers can show up to work on time. We will happily serve you through the drive-thru as quickly as possible. We're very sorry for the inconvenience. Please bear with us until we find the right team to best serve our community."
Wow. So that
Edible
is just
shade.
a real huffy bitch of a manager who's like just freaking out, right?
Probably listening to Chubby Checker.
I know.
Well, it's very odd when Karen is the manager.
Yeah.
And apparently if the staff is not good, that probably means there are also a lot of order mix-ups. So I believe we're going to give that point to Brian Brushwood. Congratulations, Brian. The chat room does not get a point. They believed overwhelmingly that it would be Justin. Fortunate. All right.
I could not wrap my head around how a bathroom emanation would be controversial. That was my problem with that answer.
This is one of those non-controversial bathroom moments, everybody. We don't need to...
It would be
maybe they would put like sliding doors in front of all the stalls, so when you walked by it would just be like and you're like, oh, I thought it'd be easier, nobody would have to use their hands. Controversial.
No, if there's one thing Taco Bell's never going to do, it's spend a dime on their restrooms.
That's a fact.
That was true.
It could be controversial if somebody was having an emergency, either number 3 or number 2. Wait, number 4. We'll forget the numbers. We settled this a while ago. But then they were told that they couldn't access the bathrooms because those are for customers only or something, and then they ended up doing the whatever outside. That'd be controversial.
That would certainly be a bathroom mix-up.
Only if they were playing, rock music from the 50s.
All right, so that's Brian's point. The current scoreboard is 2 for Brian, 2 for Justin, 0 for Cargo, and 2 for the chat room, but we still got more to go here. Like with this apologizes for. We just had the Oscars.
Are they already apologizing for the Oscars?
Oh, always. They never, in many, Brian, if you listen on a very cold, still night, you can hear them complaining and apologizing even now.
I think I already know what this is.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to start with Justin on this one. Justin, the headline reads, Bong Joon-ho apologizes to blank blank for winning too many awards. Bong Joon-ho apologizes to blank blank for winning too many awards. What's going on in your head?
Oh, angry white people.
Okay, angry white people. Kind of a singular train of thought there, but all right.
I would love to believe that he's just full on trolling. Like, what's up, angry white people? Do you hate the fact that I'm not white? I'm sorry, I have so many awards.
Good not use of a voice on that one, Brian. All right, Cargill. Bong Joon-ho apologizes to blank blank for winning too many awards.
To the Oscar engravers at the Oscar party.
Oh, that's clever. Oscar engravers.
Oh, wow. Although Dan33 in the chat says Footman Tarantino.
Very sorry, my great film had not enough feet in it.
I think I might have heard whispers where he was apologizing to was it Scorsese that went away with Donut? I feel like
Scorsese didn't I believe not get an Oscar.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese.
I mean, it was 3 words.
Oh, it's
right?
3 words?
No, it's 2 words.
Yeah.
Bong Joon-ho apologizes to blank blank.
Oh, okay.
But that's
Sorry.
why. But that's okay
blank.
because he said angry white people. So he said it was all together.
No. I'm gonna change mine officially to angry whites.
Perfect.
That's for my omelet.
Yeah, the angry whites.
All right. The headline on Vanity Fair. Bong Joon-ho apologizes to Oscar engravers for winning too many awards.
Yeah.
Quote, sorry for the hard work, Bong said in a video posted by Variety. Too many.
I mean, is the joke that his name is complicated to write?
No, because they have to make so many statues for him.
The thing is they do the engraving after the fact, and they do it at the party. So you're behind the scenes. They've got people doing it live for you.
Got it.
He puts them up on the table, and he goes, "I'm sorry for all the hard work. There's so many of them." Got it.
That's like when you finally get to the front of the line at Taco Bell, and you're like, "I'm sorry, I have a whole party of people. We all ordered buckets of semen. This is gonna take a while."
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
That old chestnut. And that's the rest of the story.
And Bong, it was a humble brag, as somebody said, but Bong speaks very little English, so like it was composed of the few words he knew.
Yeah.
All right. We've got and that of course goes to Cargill because he got it right. So congrats, Cargill, on your first point. All right, let's do 2 more here. Let's do 2
Ready.
more here. The headline goes, and we'll start with Cargill on this one. Quote, or not quote, headline. What is this? Store apologizes for blank blank onesie. What is this? Store apologizes for blank blank onesie. You're going to need some of this extra info, Cargill.
Yeah, I really am.
The fan website, gopherhole.com, tweeted a photo from a woman who noticed the onesies while shopping Sunday at a Target in Minneapolis. Target said, quote, color us red, and added, quote, as a Minnesota-based company, we know we are home to the Gophers.
So repeat the headline one more time.
Sure. What is this? Store apologizes for blank blank onesie.
Offensive gopher onesie.
What was the quote again?
Oh, you know what?
Color us red. As a Minnesota-based company, we know we are home to the Gophers.
I'm going to say anatomically correct.
Damn, that's a good one with those Gophers dicks out.
For some reason, I'm picturing just like a gopher hole poorly positioned.
I mean, it sounds like it too. Huh?
Like I'm going to say, oh man,
I don't know.
I like Cargill's idea because when if the dick got erect, it would just start playing Kenny Loggins.
I'm all right. Don't nobody worry about me. I'm erect.
We're home to
Come and see.
Color Us Red. We're home to the Gophers.
As a Minnesota-based company, we know we are home to the Gophers.
The clues are Gopher, Minnesota. Apologize. The Color Me Red feels like, forgive me, a red herring. Like that's just something you would say. Is oof, color us red. I don't know. I can't shake the image of it being a onesie. Okay, I'm gonna give my official answer. They apologized for a onesie that was golf themed and had a gopher hole right over the butthole.
Okay, so...
And then also a note that says, by the way, gophers don't exist.
Golf-related butthole design.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Science will accept that. All right, Justin, take us home. What is this? Store apologizes for blank onesie.
I think that it's Wisconsin Badger related. That the Minnesota Golden Gophers, they accidentally sold something that was related to the Wisconsin Badgers, which is a rival college and sports feud for them. So I think it's something Wisconsin Badger related.
So your answer is going to be Wisconsin Badger related?
Wisconsin Badger onesie or whatever.
Okay. Wisconsin Badger. All right, this is from WKOW.com. We've got you covered. What is this? Store apologizes for...
Come on, golf.
Minnesota Badgers onesie. Oops-a-daisy, folks. They put the wrong state with the wrong team.
Oh, so I think that goes to Justin, right?
That goes to Justin. He knew the story. That's right.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, the
Well, I didn't really know the story. I just knew the red, seeing red, because the Badgers are red and white, and the Golden Gophers are gold and red, or maroon. Yeah,
good call. All right,
That's smart talk for a guy who doesn't even have his sign behind him turned on.
I know,
I'll tell you what,
right?
man.
I don't have any of my signs. I don't have my monitor on. I don't have my sign on. I'm just fucking sitting here in darkness.
I bet they sold the shit out of those shirts, though, man. Talk about a collector's item, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what they would do with that, because you would think that they would pull the inventory, but would they just trash it?
No, what I'm telling you, there's going to be a bunch of new Minnesota Badger fans in Africa next week.
Yup! Dude, that shit's gonna be styling in Zimbabwe. They're gonna fucking be lit.
But also, they're a baby's onesie, just so...
There's going to be a whole generation. You're right. They won't be fans until they grow up.
Minnesota Badgers.
All right,
there are those things that just like, especially for sports, where people get so fired up about it, where they have those like brain-breaking kind of things. Like that's one of them where it's like, okay, like the Minnesota Badgers just don't even know what to do with it. I remember when I was in college, I believe it was a Boston Phoenix, which was one of their alt weeklies. That just their gigantic cover to begin baseball season and this has got to be in 2003 or 4, were just two larger, hairy men, one in a Red Sox hat and one in a Yankee hat, just making out. Like, just full gross, like, embarrassing makeout. And it was like, it was one of my favorite covers ever, because it was just like, this ridiculous cover. Somebody's going to be able to find it by the end of this show, but I always enjoy those.
Please do. Please send it in the chat here. Twitch.tv/NightAttack. All right. We got our final round. The scoreboard is Brian's got 2 points. Justin's got 3. Cargill's got 1. And the chat room only has 2 points. This one is going to be 4. 4 points.
Wow.
There we go. So it's still anybody's game.
Let's go.
And the franchise rights to the Minnesota Badgers. Yeah.
All right. Here's our final apologizes for. This was a long one, folks. So stick with that.
Buckle up. Also, feed that into the AI program.
Mayor apologizes for blank, comma, blank. That's 7 blanks, 5 separated by comma, and then 2 more. Mayor apologizes for blank, 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 comma, blank, blank.
I've got this. Running for the fucking presidency, Joe Biden. Is that it?
Mayor apologizes to Joe Biden
For crushing at winning nominations, winning the nominations, Joe Biden. Is there any behind the scenes details on this?
There is. Quote, to my family, the event host, the township's employees, town council, and all the residents of Mawa, I'm sorry I let you down, said Roth, adding that he feels, quote, nothing but regret, remorse, and sincere sorrow, unquote, for his actions.
That doesn't sound like Mayor Pete.
The Mawa, New Jersey, via patch.com. Mawa.
All right, who goes first?
That's a very good question. I believe, 1, 2, 3, Brian, you start first.
All right.
Mayor apologizes for blank, 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 comma, blank, blank.
How many of the? Can I ask for a clue in terms of like how many of the words are bullshit words, like of the and a blah 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 blah.
One.
All right.
I would say one is.
Actually,
if we're
tell me how many. If this was a title, how many of the words would not be capitalized? How about that?
Depending how you squint at it, one.
Oh.
Mayor apologizes for blank, 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 comma, blank, blank.
Drawing that mustache.
All right.
Mayor apologizes because you said depending on how you squint at it, which means it's a word that you may or may not. Boy, I don't even know how to do it.
Okay.
Mayor apologizes for drawing that mustache.
Okay.
On opponents, comma, and wife.
That's a long walk for that joke, my friend.
I just gotta.
A lot of mustaches. A serial mustache drawer.
Yeah, I got nothing. What
I
am
mean,
I supposed to do?
at a certain point, that shit is a problem, though. There's only so much you can get away with.
Although, I mean,
Please
my
stop.
alternate is filling that bucket with semen, comma, Taco Bell.
We're gonna have to go with your first answer on that one. Sorry.
Playing that rock and roll, chubby checker.
Justin, Mayor apologizes for blank, 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 comma, blank, blank. 5, comma, 2 blanks.
Mayor apologizes for getting way too drunk, man. For real.
All right. Getting way too drunk, comma, man, for real.
Hey, do we get to know the news source?
This is
Because if this is BuzzFeed, I
Patch.com.
might just switch to Justin's answer.
This is via patch.com.
This is patch.com, which is basically the conglomeration of like a bunch of more
Small
regional
town.
newspapers.
Got it.
All right, Cargill, you're going to be our last guest here. Mayor apologizes for blank, 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 comma, blank, blank.
Using public funds at local strip club.
Oh, that's good.
At local strip club. All right. All right.
Where do you want to put the comma in there?
Yeah, so our answers are just so we make sure we get it. Brian says, drawing that mustache on opponents and wife. Justin says, getting way too drunk, man, for real. And Cargill says, using public funds at local strip club.
I think we're all really, really close.
I think we're really triangulating this one. We're fucking. We got a cent.
All right. This is for 4 points and the game, folks. Via patch.com, Mawa, New Jersey, mayor apologizes for drinking too much at party, comma, passing out, Justin Will!
almost exactly on the money. That's amazing. Holy cow.
Incredible shit. Congratulations, Justin.
Well earned, man.
Ran away with that.
Yeah, we didn't even need science. That was common sense.
Right on there. For real.
Yeah. Also, a shout out once again to Squilliung and another Jay Martin, who we used some of theirs from the last time we asked for apologizes for topics. So thank you, everybody. If you have an idea for a game, you can send it into mail@nightattack.tv. That's mail@nightattack.tv. It's an email. Send us a list or an idea, and we might use it on the show.
Hells yeah. Dude, let's celebrate by going straight into Diamond Time. This is the portion of the show where we shout out your projects. If you head on over to diamondclub.reddit.com, see a big old fat sticky post right up at the top of it. Go ahead and submit that in the top 3. We'll read them out right here live. For example, from Mill Beaks, I think I know that name. Hey, Chat Realm. I have a new book out soon that will teach you how to make a killer review-based podcast. It's called Fan Podcasting, the Complete Guide, and it covers everything from critical theory to how to land an interview with the star of your favorite show. Goes on sale on Amazon next week, but you can get it for free by joining his new creative community at join.doanything.media. He hopes we find it useful. That's fantastic. What a great idea. That idea of just finding an unoccupied niche and then being able to stake your flag and run wild.
Hell yeah. Tech Talk Tonight writes, greetings, Diamond Club. I started a YouTube series because I was bored on my daily commute. Join me for the ride. YOLO420.com/commute.
We got something from ICU that I don't know if we could play the whole thing, but he put together a last time on Night Attack thing with sort of a random collection of best of bits. I don't know what the easiest way to. Somebody should make a YOLO link if they can.
We just retweeted it on Night Attack Show on Twitter. I would show it, but my display is acting up a little bit here. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Just want to say, Mega, thank you for that, and it's worth taking a look at. It a bunch of funny highlights. I liked it a lot.
Hell yeah. No, I was going to watch it, but I was on airplane Wi-Fi, so I can't wait to see it.
Well, meanwhile, what say you and I kill a little time until Bryce runs back from checking some wires?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. I've got something to kill some time with.
Thank you.
Well, why don't we talk about it, C. Robert Cargill?
We're doing shout outs for stuff right now. I've got something to shout out, actually.
Go on.
For those of you that have Hulu, me and my buddy Scott Derrickson just produced a episode of Into the Dark. It's written and directed by Maggie Levin. It's called My Valentine, and you can stream it now. It's essentially a neon-drenched horror story about a relationship gone bad and what happens as a result.
That's an anthology series, is that right?
Yeah, it's Blumhouse's anthology series that essentially it's it's become their minor leagues for young talent, where people who don't have a lot of stuff on their resume or anything on their resume that are in the industry in some way, shape, or form and have a great idea, they can go and make a feature-length horror film based around the only requirement is that it has to revolve around a holiday, and but you can tell whatever kind of genre story you want to tell. And they get to actually go out and prove their chops. And there's a lot of great episodes, and we're really proud of Maggie's.
That is completely awesome. I was going to make the joke of trying to square what you just said with the fact that the team behind Doctor Strange are the unproven talent, but now I suddenly realize, like, no, you guys provide the proven part, and it's the young talent that gets to tell the story. Whether it be the actors, the directors, or so on. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is what this is right now that we're watching on the screen. This is My Valentine.
Yeah, this is like about a pop star, but it's almost like the Poppy story of a girl is a pop singer and then her boyfriend dumps her and creates another pop singer in her image, more or less.
Yeah, except imagine that in a horror setting and that comes to blows.
Oh wow. Very cool.
That's awesome, man.
Oh shit, dude, that's fucking dope. That is awesome. And so this is on Hulu right now.
Yeah, it premiered last Friday, and it's a brisk 85 minutes, and it's a lot of fun and very delightful.
Right on, man. Hey, do we want to peek in on the movie draft? I mean, Tom won, and I guess the only real big movie draft news is that Strengths emerged from the 25-way tie to be the Chat Realm League winner, right?
Yeah, in fact, maybe we should just go over the results because they probably won't change much next week, and it ends in 2 days.
Okay.
How bad did I do this time? I just want to know.
Let's find out on the Raggedy Fake Movie Draft Minute. In 6th place is Brian Brushwood, $391.6 million.
Thank you, Will Smith.
In 5th place, Jenny Josephson with $420.5 million. In 4th place, Brett Roundsville with $434.4 million. That's from Rise of Skywalker. Number 3rd place is Movie League Mike, $576.5 million. In 2nd place with $596.1 million is John Teasdale. And in 1st place, your winner of this winter movie draft is Tom Merritt with $609.1 million. Strengths in the Chat Realm League with $18.3 million. Is the winner. Movie League Mike also won the Last with 100 League, where you try to make the worst slate. That's going to be it, though, for the Winter Movie League, Winter Movie Draft. We'll be back with summer very soon.
I do.
I tell you, it was all Ford versus Ferrari and Joker. That's where that winning money came from.
Well, technically, it was Cats that made Tom Merritt win. If he didn't have Cats, he would not have won.
You just really want to make this Cats thing.
I'm just saying I wasn't wrong. Well, outside of being massively wrong.
Did you guys see all the news stories about me and Scott making Cats 2?
No, I saw fucking my friend stirring up shit on Twitter because all of a sudden, for those of you, what Cargill was hinting at, obviously you guys have been attached to Doctor Strange 2, now no longer doing Doctor Strange 2, and as that breaks, right, the only thing that happens is the wry. I can just imagine the wry smile on C. Robert Cargill's face as he just decides to say, "Yep, we're leaving to go do Cats 2." I don't even remember what the subtitle was, but it was
Cats 2: The Furrening.
The Furrening, right? And of course, because there is nothing that can't be aggregated for entertainment news clicks. That became actual a little blip on the radar was the idea that you guys would be doing Cats 2.
My Google alerts came up with 30 stories that all 30 news sites that all published the news that I joked about making Cats 2.
It's almost as though there's a hunger to publish 8 to 12 blog posts per day, and you're desperately hoping anybody connected to anything says anything interesting on Twitter.
I love that headline is the funniest because I don't know, Bryce, if you can go back to that, because I don't know whether or not it was somebody literally wrote it as Doctor Strange writer jokes. He and director are leaving Marvel for Cats 2, or if he was forced to go back and edit the headline and add jokes between Doctor Strange writer and are leaving to do Cats 2.
There's some headlines that definitely are clickbaity.
Yeah.
Do not put joke in the title.
Exactly. Right.
That was one of those things where I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like it's the weirdest thing. My name. It's why I have Google alerts actually set to my name. It's not a narcissistic thing. It's entirely about the fact that I get sent news stories all the time that are way factually incorrect, or I find out that I end up in 20 news stories about Elijah Wood. Like it's.
Man.
By the way, someone from Chat Realm actually sent that to me. Did you guys see that?
Wait, what?
We have a clip here.
I don't know what it is.
We have a clip here. So Elijah Wood was on Conan, apparently. Should we just play this without setting this up?
Sure, go for it.
Just go.
And just kind of like was being silly writing this thing. And then my friend Robert Cargill actually took that photo, immediately put it on Twitter, and within 5 minutes there were memes.
Yeah,
and it has continued.
It's become this ongoing meme of you on a scooter. I love it. It's really fun.
Look at that. That's him on a scooter, baby.
So
I didn't know you.
Dropper becomes the name droppee.
That's true. That's true. This is the final. This is the end. The full circle, dude. I didn't know you took that photo.
Oh yeah, we were all just hanging out outside of Fantastic Fest, and I snapped the photo and I showed it to his business partner, and we laughed about it. And he came over, and I'm like, dude, you got to check this out. And he laughed, and I said, I should put that on Twitter. He goes, dude, put it on Twitter. And literally, he was not kidding. Within 5 minutes, people had the picture, and it's like, one does not simply walk into Mordor.
Yeah.
And then it just went viral from there. And for 3 days, my name appeared in news stories with a photo credit.
That's amazing.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
Hey man, we're rounding the final corner here. Do we want to do check out our mailbags?
Bag.
Yeah, let's open up the mailbag.
Join us for drinks in the Diamond Club.
In the Diamond Club. That sounds grand.
Super grand. This is the part of the show where we read the letters, emails specifically, that you send into mail@nightattack.tv. I guess if someone sent in a letter, we would read it in this portion of the show, but we've not had people do that. Send an email, mail@nightattack.tv. Okay, we've got a question here. Oh, here we go. We've got a question here from Joe Acosta. Joe says, greetings, B-Triple-J. I was eating a patty melt for lunch last week when the thought crossed my mind. While a patty melt is certainly a ground beef sandwich, is it also a grilled onion burger? Thanks, Joe.
Fun fact, I don't know what a patty melt is. I just know it by name. And I wrote this song about it. That's why I write songs about foods I've never experienced. Next up, Eggs Benedict. Chubby Checker.
So, a patty melt has a hamburger patty, melted cheese, topped with caramelized onions between bread.
Yeah, It's definitely a burger. You can order it in burger joints, and you order it as a burger. It's just called a patty melt because it's got a very specific recipe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, there we go.
It's kind of like a Cuban sandwich for white people.
I mean, that's like asking if a hamburger is just a lettuce wrap with some bread on top and below it with a bit of extra meat and a tomato.
I think they were getting at the fact that it's kind of like that whole stupid old question, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
But no, a patty melt is definitely a burger.
That is a burger.
I go to Whataburger all the time. I don't order my burgers on buns. I order them on Texas fucking toast, as God intended.
Yeah.
And it's still a goddamn burger.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing with Texas toast, which I agree is a better choice, is you don't get the utility of a smooth hamburger bun. Like, you're definitely getting your fingers into the into the seasoning on the toast.
Yeah,
right?
I don't want to get into it, but the thing about the Texas toast is it's a butter sponge, which there was a time I loved it for that, but I don't like I appreciate, Justin, the fact that a hamburger bun, it's almost like a napkin, so it's like you bite down on all the greasy meat, but your lips, so the greasy meat fat gets all over your lips, but it also kind of wipes it off on the bun so you don't have greasy face. But then when the bun's working for the enemy and they're literally giant sponges filled with greasy fat like Texas toast, I mean, then you're just you're like that uncouth hobo at the cocktail shrimp buffet with just a beard of cocktail sauce, only it's fat. I don't like it.
Well, I mean, it's fine that you don't like it, but you're wrong.
Because you're still eating the same stuff.
It's done right. While yes, you do cook a good piece of Texas toast in butter, you're supposed to cook it till it's nice and crispy. If you serve it soggy, you're serving it wrong.
Well, but it's still soaked. It's still fully saturated in butter fat, and so it's for me it's that feeling of just
it's delicious, is what you mean.
It's the grease face.
The minute I start talking about Texas toast, the twang starts coming into my voice a little.
All right. Thank you for that one, Joe. We also got a question here from Bobcat writing. Given that we all of us probably have at least one deep, dark secret that we can't bear the thought of anyone ever learning, what is your favorite color? From Bobcat. If you've got a favorite color, I am of a few minds, but I don't think I have a number one.
Green. It's green.
Green.
It's sort of a faded army green. You could tell because the majority of my
You do have a lot of olive
is
colored
that color.
clothing. Okay, yeah, it's a good color for you.
Yeah.
J-Dog?
I don't know if I have. I mean, at least most of the stuff I wear is either black or kind of navy blue. Like if I'm buying something, it's usually that. But I don't know. Is it too edgelord to say black? Because I kind of really want to say black.
No, it's not. Because I think I would probably say gray. I wear a lot of gray because you can wear it with a lot of other stuff. So I think of it in terms of clothes, but
I was about to say, it's interesting that all of us kind of immediately went to what we wear in terms of our favorite color.
Yeah, Cargill, what about you?
Cerulean. I'm a fan of both the word and the color.
Yes. The trigger word to what was it? Cause of murder. What am I thinking of? Was it Fringe or X-Files? It was X-Files, wasn't it? You don't remember that? Never mind. Somebody out there remembers. No, it's fine.
Somebody asked me, "Oh, not Azure," and the truth is, no. I dated a girl named Azure, and she broke my heart.
Aww.
I'll tell you what, though.
Did someone name that was a given name, Azure?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You could do worse, I guess.
My favorite color to look at, though, now I'm getting real, and I'm not trying to be cute, is I'm going to say sky blue, but you're going to think of the wrong color blue. The dark sky blue that only happens once you're at elevation, like a mile or two up on a mountaintop, which it took. This is what an idiot I am. It was only at the age of like 40 that I figured out that, oh, that's why the sky looks a darker, more beautiful shade of blue when you're skiing, is because you're literally 2 miles higher in the sky than otherwise. Like, that is...
If only there were a word for that color, what would that word be?
Is that cerulean? I thought cerulean was a little bit more washed out, but I apparently don't know my colors.
It's deep sky blue.
Oh, right on. There, I'm with you. You know what? I'm defecting. It's cerulean. Only I will never wear it.
All right, there we go. Thank you for the question, Bobcat. And the chat realm with 2 votes said that Justin has the best favorite color. So there we go. All right, well, that's my
goes in everything. And they wanted painted black.
All right, I think that's going to do it for us. The mailbag this week. If you have a mailbag that you would like us to read here, an email, send it in mail, mail at nightattack.tv. Email it in. We will read it on the show at the end of the show, which is what this is, which is the end of the show.
Doggone right, man. Here we are rounding the corner right around midnight. We did it, Justin. You traveled across the entire continent and made it in time for us to do the show. In fact, we had so much fun that we did a call-in version of the show in the pre-show that I swear I would love to see as a banked episode. Hey, Cargill, if there's one thing you would love everybody listening to go check out, what would that be?
At this moment, hop on Hulu. Check out My Valentine. I think you guys will enjoy it. And if you don't have Hulu, they probably have a 7-day free trial, so do that. And then watch My Valentine. And then when you're done with that, use the next 7 days to watch all of Letterkenny, because Letterkenny rocks.
Can I also just say, if you are in any way interested in writing anything like books, movies, TV, follow Cargill on Twitter if you are not already, because it is great pearls of wisdom from somebody who's doing it at a really high level right now. So go ahead and check that out. Massawyrm, MASSAWYRM, if you are new to the show and aren't already following our good friend and Elijah Wood's friend, C. Robert Cargill.
That's a weird... That I gotta tell you, it's a weird moment when somebody sends you a video and it's of the Conan O'Brien show and there's Elijah Wood.
Yeah,
you get named right. It's an odd moment.
Is there
that is truly just a pinnacle of your journey. The fact that you got name dropped on television is just that's fantastic.
To the sunset, having completed his quest.
I know. I'm shocked you didn't just explode into happiness and just permeate the rest of the universe.
It's like that scene in The Fountain. He just bursts into flowers all over his body and becomes one with the earth. Hey, Justin, you've been busting your butt all over this damn country doing real-ass politics journalism. Is that all in podcast form, or should people sign up over at your newsletter? What's the best thing to do?
All of it, friends. Head on over to all my social media stuff that is free. Justin R. Young on Instagram and Twitter. I'm going to be there in Nevada, in South Carolina. I'll be back here in California for Super Tuesday and then out for Florida when that comes about. But I'm traveling to all these places, and the reason why is because folks are paying me to. I got bosses now. So if you want to contribute to that and you like the Politics podcast, then head on over to takepoliticsseriously.com. The support from you guys has been over the top and insane, and I need it because, as it turns out, everybody else that I run into at all these media hotels, they get like paid, like they don't have to go out of pocket to go do these trips, and I'm financing it. And by the way, true story, from Iowa, all of the media is there. New Hampshire, about half the media is there. From what I've been told, you go to Nevada, about a tenth of that half is there. And by the time you get to South Carolina, it's literally just the person who draw the short end of the stick at CNN who's running like a camera and maybe like a loose dog that is just following. That's the only media there.
Eventually it
It'll
just
be
becomes
them and me.
Yeah, that's amazing, dude.
But
Eventually
you're gonna get that great interview with Biden.
I mean, I can't get enough. I can't get enough, man. I went to one Biden rally, and I'm just telling you, if you run, don't walk.
Top stories for days.
Hey, quick, before we wrap up, quick side jag. I saw a tweet in my timeline, and I thought, who the fuck is this? And I'm like, who's this saying this stuff? And it wasn't until I clicked on the name and it opened, and I'm like, who the fuck is silliest goose around and I eat my own shit yummy that has a picture of a honking goose, and then it says it's Justin Young. What's going on here?
So I made I like to stir it up on Twitter sometimes, and so I made a bet with Twitter that if Amy Klobuchar finished third in the New Hampshire primary, that I would change my avatar to a goose, and I would change my name to I'm the silliest goose around, and I eat my own goose shit yummy.
So that's the responsibility of Klobumentum.
Klobumentum. I was Klobucharged into changing my avatar last night because indeed, you have no idea what the feeling is, because I'm at an Amy Klobuchar rally in Exeter, New Hampshire, and it's in this tiny little idyllic city hall, and it's jam-packed, like to the rafters. Fire marshal, an old New England fire marshal, is like, y'all gotta get out. Like they're just like pushing stuff back. There's an overflow room where they're like stamping up top. So whenever she says something good, they're like stamping, and it sounds like thunder. It's like this amazing thing. And all I can think of is, God damn it, I'm gonna have to change my avatar to a goose.
I'll tell you what, man, you picked a good time to do it. That's a damn fine. In fact, consider keeping the avatar. Maybe tweak the name a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna change it back today, because that's the other thing is I'm meeting all these people, these other people that are covering it. So I'm having all these media contacts, and they're following me for the first time on Twitter as I'm like, I'm a silly goose and I eat shit. Hello.
Yeah, I wonder how soon we did an episode of Modern Rogue where the bet was we played a game of Scotch doubles for the winner got to determine the new avatar, and so I kept claiming the whole episode long that I was going to make it a picture of my family, and you know, Jason was going to do some horror shit, and I ended up winning, but I immediately demanded he open up the stop buttons of his shirt and took this photo, and it was really great because everybody who went to the channel, like they're watching the whole 20-minute video thinking they know the outcome, and then they don't realize that I'm the one who won and made this picture of Jason. All of that's been fine. I was like, oh, we'll get around to changing it. And then as we do, we posted a new episode today, and I always do this kind of tit for tat. If somebody gives low effort sass, I give low effort sass back, or tell people they're wrong. And all of a sudden I realize, man, I'm just definitely, it's like I'm talking out of Jason's mouth. Like they're looking at Jason and there's an uncredited asshole response to them, and that's definitely straight up just me. So we may have to change that pretty quick.
Yeah,
that's a really good episode, by the way. Jess and I watched that together last week, and we really liked that.
I was surprised that it actually has some real tension. I mean, that it ends up being a fine 20-minute sports story. Hey, Justin, what did we learn this week?
Well, Brian, we learned the rule of thumb.
We learned that that Justin has an uncanny ability to write the most ridiculous headlines that turn out to be exactly 100% right.
We learned that C. Robert Cargill is a great friend and a great photographer of Elijah Wood.
And most importantly, we learned that Cats 2 coming at you before you know it.
Yes, we learned that exclusively. So yeah, Dr. Strange Writer confirms again that he's doing Cats 2 the Furrening.
But most importantly, we learned that even running on fumes, at the end of the night, we still love you guys with all our hearts. We will see you next Tuesday.
Die in a fire.
Congratulations to all. Rock Roll Martian for 1,000 bits. Thank you.
Yay! That's much more than the one with the bit boss before. Yay!
Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. I love you.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.